First and foremost, this theory will contain major plot spoilers for Life is Strange Episode 4 Dark Room. So if you're not cool with that, just add this to a playlist or bookmark it or something and come back after you've had a chance to either play it or watch it or both. With that out of the way, let's all take a major collective sigh and let out some emotions now that Episode 4 is over. Holy cow! If you're like me, you're left with, amongst a bunch of other unpleasant emotions, a huge sense of unease that Max is, as we speak, in the evil clutches of Mr. Jefferson in a locked secret underground bunker in the middle of the woods, while the only person who knew where she might be, Chloe, is now dead. Well, almost, except that Chloe isn't the only other person who knew about the bunker. And I see an unlikely hero emerging from this tragedy in Episode 5, Polarized, Nathan Prescott. Now, I'm sure some, or maybe even all of you, might be thinking, but Stacy, this entire game has established Nathan as a drug-addicted and violent teenager with a troubled past who happens to be losing his grip on reality. And you'd be right. But his history of acting out and anger towards authority is precisely why he will be the one to rescue Max from the bunker in the game's final episode. In Dark Room, we gain a much clearer understanding of the manipulative hold that Sean Prescott holds over his son Nathan. This relationship is something which, given what all of his messages to Nathan seem to imply, has been developed over the course of Nathan's entire life, and which hinges on the fact that Nathan looks up to his father, as evidenced by the best son certificate in Nathan's dorm room that he still keeps. Mr. Prescott has been manipulating Nathan into procuring girls for Mr. Jefferson, even going so far as to say that this is how Nathan can make him proud, that he will guide Nathan, and then he signs the letter, "Don't fuck it up, son." Nathan's own sister describes their father as a bully who inherited power, not wisdom, and urges Nathan not to let his father turn him into one just for the family legacy, which confirms that Nathan was probably not always what he is now, and that his father has been molding him into the son that he wants him to be, rather than who he really is. This likely started when Nathan was much younger, so he never really stood a chance against his father, and has grown up with his father telling him that this is what he is supposed to do. A similar example would be Children of War, which is when warlords capture or recruit young children, some as young as 7 or 8, to their armies and brainwash them from a very young age that all they are supposed to care about is fighting and killing other people. They never have a chance to develop empathy on their own, and because they are so young when they're recruited, their minds are not prepared to resist the brainwashing or doctrine from the regime's officers. In other words, they never stand a chance. Just like Nathan against his father, who has been grooming Nathan to be just like him as he grows up. It's becoming increasingly clear that Nathan is starting to feel manipulated by his father, though, and is extremely angry that his father is controlling him and making him participate in this horrible situation by drugging and kidnapping the girls. And his anger towards his father appears to be bubbling to the surface, as evidenced by his multiple outbursts and increasingly violent and sloppy behavior, such as brandishing a gun at school twice, getting into fights, and lashing out in class. Which brings me back to Max, drugged and held captive by Mr. Jefferson in Sean Prescott's doomsday bunker. I think that in Episode 5, Nathan Prescott will snap and either end up shooting Mr. Jefferson or his own father out of anger and rescuing Max. He may not be rescuing her on purpose, but I think that will be at least a side effect of his final violent outburst towards the authority figures who have been controlling him and ordering him to do all these horrible things for who knows how long. Although it may not seem like it now, Nathan Prescott's growing hatred towards his father just might make him the unlikely hero of Life is Strange. If you liked this video, feel free to check out the rest of the Geek Remix channel, where I make Let's Plays with my best friend Mari, and to follow me on Twitter and Tumblr at Geek Remix a lot.